of the struct in order. I mean, you have to compile it correctly, for example, because order matters in structs. But even besides that, for something like, well, order doesn't matter for constant declarations like that GL struct that's full of constants. However, when you're browsing the metadata, like from your program introspector, then you actually want to see those in the same order that they are in the source file. So we need to maintain the order somehow. And probably the easiest way to do that is to keep putting declarations in this linear list, even after we switch over to a faster structure for lookup. So instead of completely switching over, it's going to be more like maintaining both in parallel. But we use the fast structure to check for redeclarations and so forth. That's going to be a little bit annoying when it comes to placeholders, because I don't want to take more, because we have to replace the placeholder in the linear array, but we looked it up on the other thing, and I could store the index in the array on the declaration, but that requires making another data slot. Maybe I'll just linearly search for it. And replacing a placeholder is just a little bit slow, but that's fine. It would be easier to follow if you had source code you could read. I know, but like, I'm radically changing the source code as we go, first of all. And second of all, it's easier for me to just sit down and do this than to plan and send out source and all that. Is HashMap optimized for iteration as well as load stores? Not really. No, like I said this morning, I don't care that much about the properties because I don't know what's important yet. We're just doing something. Okay, no deep and meaningful questions. So with 4Coder, last time I tried to use it, which was a long time ago, they didn't set the DPI aware flag, which meant that you're upscaled by Windows. And I tried to get him to set it, and he said when he set it, like weird stuff happened. But you really need to set that flag. So maybe that's why your fonts are blurry. I don't know. Okay, people are asking off-topic questions. I'm staying on topic for now because we got to get some work done. So we're going to say block lookup is large, you know, whatever. So that's going to be our flag that we set when we roll over to this other data structure. And we're probably I don't know. Well, what do I do? Do I break the compiler right now by renaming this? I mean, I can do this. And I can start doing a little bit of stuff. So where was find declaration helper? Was that here? No. Let's see. Sin typer. I don't know why. We're probably going to make a new file. In fact, let's do that. Because this is, I don't very often make new files, but looking stuff up in scopes is going to be like its whole own thing. Why is this on typer? That doesn't make sense. Okay, so we're going to do that. That's going to be like our intervention. So we make sure we compile. And we'll make a file called, see, the thing is, these are scope stuff, but I call it block everywhere. And block and scope are technically different things. It's just they coincide most of the time. Let's call it scope. Did we compile correctly? Yes. Okay, so taking this stuff and some of this stuff that was an interp, so there was like a global scope in global. Where was that? Find global struct binding. This can go away. Okay, what of this do we need to include? Well, I don't know. I never know. So scope.h is going to have this, and it's going to have this, and it's going to have this, but that's not going to be on typer. That's just going to be like that. And then we're going to take that off typer. There go all my protected methods. Main has got to include scope. And typer has got to include scope. And back in main, we had our hack find declaration. Oh, no, we didn't. So that's here. Get rid of that. And then explain. Should include scope.h. Interp said find global. No, it didn't. Okay. We got to add scope to our project because Visual Studio. Add existing item source scope. And then we got to add it to source control. Come on. Add. Okay. Now we just got to compile again. And we can check that in as a little milestone. Just a little milestone. Just a little milestone. Where would you have a scope that's not also a block? It's a long story. Okay, well that we got to change. course, whoever calls that, like there, okay. How much did we pay for that in terms of lines of code? It's going to be a lot because of the includes. We're at 41506. So we're 12 lines up. Makes me sad. Can we get rid of these? Probably. Yeah. Yeah, we might need to bring them back later. Can we get rid of these? Unicode we don't need. Yeah, okay. General. Oh, interp includes lexer. Now, which means we can get rid of that. Okay. Now where are we at? All right, we're only 6 lines up now. Great. Great. Okay. Source. Let's test some things. We didn't break anything, but let's just make sure. Ba-boom, boom. Bum, bum, boom. Ba-bum, bum, boom. Ba-bum, boom, bum, bum. Okay. So, start scope refactor. Okay. That's good. That gives us a baseline. Oh, do a full recompile. That's a good point. That is a good point. You can't trust Visual Studio, especially when you change around header files. That is the proper thought to have. Okay, well, it's still built. What is a piece of software you wish someone would spend a year on and make? A debugger. That's what I wish. Okay. Now. Well. Since we're going to maintain members in parallel, find global struct binding will just continue to work. In fact, since we're going to maintain members in parallel, I'm almost tempted to not rename it and break everyone. Let's see how many people reference members. 110. That's much less than the Lambda thing yesterday, which was like 246, if I remember. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong. Anyway, so I think some types of scopes, like arguments, returns, and constants blocks. We're not going to let those get big. So the only ones we're going to let get, in fact, we can start by only letting data declaration scopes get big, because that's where everything is going to live practically right now. It's probably not the best policy for the long term, because you might have a procedure with a lot of variables, but just for now, yeah, I feel like this is few enough, and a lot of them are inapplicable. Maybe this is the wrong approach. Like I was saying, normally I would just change the name of this members array to something else, which would force all the code to break, and it would force me to visit every single thing. But like some of these, so here, this needs these things to be in order. It's fine. This is fine. Like all these things, as long as we maintain that members array, it's fine. So I'm going to just audit these things linearly right now and hope I don't miss something, because my hope is that that will be less work than the thing that I did yesterday, which is break the whole program and let the compiler be the to-do list. Different techniques. For nested blocks, are declarations looked up in a linked list of bindings? If you mean, does a declaration in a local scope point to the next one in an outer scope? The answer is no, because usually it shadows it, right? Except for procedure lookups, where we could do that, I guess. Maybe. What's the element count barrier going to be for switching from array to hash table? Like 200? I don't know. It doesn't matter, because it'll be a constant that we can tweak and empirically adjust. My guess is it's not that high. My guess I mean, it depends, right? But like sometimes in a procedure, you could look up a variable a lot of times, and we don't like cache results there. So, I mean, I'm thinking like 12 or 16, probably. Something like that. But I don't actually know. That could be totally wrong. Should it be a compiler user option in the future? That's a possibility that we could do. Yeah. Do I not like GDB? No, I don't like GDB. I didn't like it that much in 1990, and it is basically the same program today. So I was thinking, how often do you iterate through members before the whole scope has been made? Why not make a temporary cache array, which becomes dirty whenever you add a member to the members? Then when it's dirty, iterate the hash and populate. This requires that the hash hold on to the index of the member, but I think it could be all right with an SOA hash map implementation. Well, it's not a bad idea, except that, like I said, generally when we add something to a scope is when we're looking for a redeclaration. So if we defer putting stuff in the hash table, then we can't look for the redeclaration quickly, you know? So we're just going to do it one by one. That said, that doesn't mean there's not a way to do the optimization you're talking about and get a win. I'm not sure. It's just that it adds enough complexity that I don't want to think about doing it right away because it introduces problems. So when you're prototyping a simple structure that's more of a dummy structure for prototyping and optimization, recently on Handmade Hero, Casey flat out recommended using whatever version of that structure can be represented with a for loop. Do you allow for more complexity than that? If so, do you have any criterion as to how much complexity will you allow? Well, like I said, I'm going to put in an array as the first thing, so I'm doing exactly what Casey said. Like, I don't know what more you want me to say about that. Okay. Now, let's look at this one by one and decide if any of these will break. So we're going to skip the ones in scopes.cpp because those are the ones that we're going to edit, but there's only 2. So that's fine. This is, okay, add to constants block. Here we're directly adding to members, but again, constants block is one of the ones that we're not going to let go big. So that's fine. Add to scope. Okay, that definitely should go into scopes. Let's move that. No, not bool. Arrow members. Freaking Visual Studio. All right. So constants block stuff we ignore. Check for redeclaration. This is our thing that we just did. Okay, that's going to go into scopes.cpp. Checked add to scope isn't, because it's not really, this is more like a front end that does a bunch of junk when adding things to a scope. It doesn't actually manipulate the scope, so we're going to leave that out there. Come on. Why is Visual Studio always? All right. Like, why is there an arrow in here now? Like, I didn't do anything. I searched for something and then went back to do a search again, and it's got a totally different... People are stupid. All right. Okay, well, that's everything in that file. So that file's kind of locked down. Get first element size. Okay, like we said, stuff involving structs that's going to maintain that members array, so that's fine. Emit code for block entry. That's all fine. So this is just looking for declarations inside a okay. I'm going to make a note here. So this is slow, but I don't want to mess with it yet because it'll still work. So we're going to tag this as slow incomplete. And the goal is, before we're done, anything we tag that way will be fixed. Like here, we're just saying we're finding the declaration in this. We're finding the size of everybody up until this guy. You know, okay, that relies on ordering, so we can't really speed it up. This is, you know, we can't speed it up this way. There's ways we can speed it up. Okay. Anyway, though, that's fine. Constants block, constants block, constants block, constants, 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 constants block. Okay. What's this? Looking up the entry point name in global scope. Okay, that is also going to be marked slow incomplete. Doesn't happen very often. Okay, when we copy a block, this is where things are going to start to get annoying. So we're in copier. Well, I guess that's fine because we want to hit every member. And then we're calling check to add to scope. Seems okay to me. Get from global scope. Okay. That, I thought we had gotten that one, but we didn't. All right, so that's in interp. That's going to go here. We're going to move it to be explicitly. Okay. We're going to put that here, and then okay. I missed some. Oh, we've got the old one. Goodbye. Check for redeclaration. You know, probably everyone is going to include scope.h eventually. Get from global scope identifier not found. Like I said. I goofed. I goofed. Register overload. Identifier not found. Okay, well, I guess that's going to go here. Okay. Now what? Now what? We keep looking. Let's see what's in our search window now. Arrow again. What's in it now? Oh, it's actually the whole thing. That's amazing. What if I click in a window and then... Oh, because I clicked in this window, now slow incomplete is in there. Like, what? What stupid person made that? I don't even know. I don't know. We haven't started, so we've started a release to people in the company, but we haven't done a closed group release to people outside the company yet. That is yet to happen. Okay. Where were we? We're in interp, right? Because we pasted that thing out. Find in block. Why is that? Yeah, okay, well. Okay. Okay. So these are basically the same thing. So, all right. Find in block identifier not found. Yep, everybody. Okay. Okay. You don't get a car, and 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 you don't get a car. And then we go to, I don't know, interp. And just include it here, because bruh, everybody's going to want that. It's just how it is. Okay. So we're going to continue. What is in our buffer now? Include scope.a. That at least makes sense since I cut that. But I would like just the last thing I searched for to be in here. I don't want auto paste. That's stupid. It is beyond stupid. Okay. Maybe export declarations. That's fine, I think. We are, again, because we're going to maintain this members array, we're okay there. LVM converter. Process block declarations for debug. Well, yeah, we're just visiting everything and doing stuff. So that's okay. Constants block is okay. Yeah, okay. I think. This is just exporting information about a block, which there's several cases in which that would happen. And again, like I said, that's one of the reasons we want to maintain the ordered arrays so that we can use it in places like this. Okay. What is this? Oh, importing a statement. This is a little slow, but whatever. Importation. Yeah, we need to do that. That's so that if we already imported something, if there's like multiple things pointing to the same node, you don't accidentally import copies of it. You want the imported result to have both pointers pointing at the same node. Okay, messenger do imports. That's fine. Messenger's all good. Okay, parser. Constants block. There's so much constants block in this whole program, man. Hey, look, we're getting somewhere. Polymorph, constants block, arguments, baked literals. Checking whether constants blocks match. Look at all this commented out code. What even is this? Old version of constants blocks match. I'm tempted to delete that, but it's off topic. Constants block. So much constants block. I bet there's a woman in England somewhere named Constance Block. Struct polymorph. More constants block. So much constants block. She is the patron saint of this program. Okay, scope is all the stuff we're going to tailor. So that's fine. Type table. Constants block. Okay, that's again, we're making an array of exported data. Type table packer. That's members array on the type info, which isn't even the one that we're messing with. Typer, oh, this is where things are going to get gnarly. It's also the last file. Let's take this short time to answer a few questions before I dive into Typer. The VS search text is whatever your cursor is standing on or whatever's selected or whatever's in your clipboard. No sense whatsoever. I agree. No sense whatsoever. It's yet another one of those things that used to work fine. It used to be good. And then they screwed it up because they have stupid people making decisions about what should happen. I mean, stupid people is not fair, but like people who don't write software for a living, I guess, making those decisions about what should happen. Like, I don't even know. How do you end up with that decision that something random should... I actually know how you end up with that decision. So I'm going to stop ranting, but it's the wrong decision. It's the wrong decision. How are things going in the chat? It's, yeah. You're lost is all. That's okay. I'm lost as well. What features does Auditing would a game engine have for you to consider using it? I don't know. I don't know. It's just not something that I do. Okay. Let's start looking in Typer. Okay, we're reporting constants or arguments block mismatches. Okay, so this is for error messages when we're talking about, what wasn't right. So that's okay. Constants block, constants block, constants block. I never realized how big of an influence constants block was on the design of this program. She really guided it a lot over the years. Okay. Okay. This is iterator declarations that were inserted at parse time. Okay, this is a problem because we're removing things from a scope, but it's a procedural scope. And as we said right now, I'm only going to let data scopes get big. You can't insert iterators into data scopes. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say assert expr block flags and block lookup is large, right? We are removing a declaration if the block is large, can be large. Need to cover that eventuality. So we'll assert if we get there. 615 matches for constants block. How am I going to know who to consult about the design of this program? I could consult all the constants blocks. That's a lot of people to ask for their opinions. Okay. I'm just going to keep plowing ahead. You know who is involved here. Okay. Find declaration in members. What? Oh, by expression. That really should be in the other file. Is this even used? It probably is. Yeah, by who? By who? Static if. Okay. Well, we're gonna move that out because it's topical. So helpful of them to make a feature where I have to type what I want every single time. Okay, wait, where was I? 20. I don't remember what line I was at. I hadn't looked at this. Oh, force infer struct. Okay, that's fine. We ain't touching that. We ain't touching that. But just as we go through all these things, it's like, look at all this stuff this compiler is doing. Can we make it not have to do all of this, right? Like, That's kind of the general quest that I'm on over time, is like, can we figure out how to make it so that we're doing things in a way where you don't need to do this particular loop and that particular loop and whatever. You know, maybe we're seeing constants block a little too much, and maybe we would like to keep the relationship at more of a distance. And how do we do that? Well, you know, all right. So, oh, we were already past that. Okay, so we're here. We were already past here a little bit. So this is when we're accepting a static ifs block. Hello, could you get stuck in puzzles and have to start over, or you can always go back on your steps and find alternative solutions? I guess it depends on what puzzle you're talking about. Okay. Members, what are we doing here? Find the index of the static if in the current block. We just had a thing. I guess we unrolled it. Okay, this is going to be gnarly. This is going to be gnarly because we're going to... Okay. So static if for sure can insert stuff into data scopes. This is the procedural scope version. No, it's not. Oh man, what? Okay, this is gnarly enough that I'm going to put a thing here called gnarly, and we have to do that. But we're just going to go on and figure out if there's any other issues to think about. So, the thing is, like, a static if can be in the middle of a struct declaration, and it could include things or not, depending on whether it's condition fires. And if it includes the stuff in that struct, the stuff in that struct has to be in the middle of the struct, like where it's declared lexically, right? So it has to be inserted into the middle of the already existing declarations. And so maybe we need to abstract that operation a little bit. But when I looked right there, I couldn't quite tell how that was happening correctly, which means maybe it's not, although I thought I had done it. So we're going to go back and look at gnarly. It might be that we have to fix some unrelated bug before we can go on and do the new stuff. We'll see. So weird. So maybe I'm just dorking very heavily with this array. Like I set the... I don't even know. We're going to have to... We're going to have to dissect that and make an abstraction for it in scopes. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna gnarly that. Okay, and then this is the procedural version, which we don't really need to touch. Oh wait, that was a belongs to struct or belongs, right? In global scope, we're like, we don't care. We're going to look at it. Okay. Skipping ahead 1,000 lines. Constants is here again. Constants is everywhere. Constants. We're matching struct types here. Is that what we're doing? Yeah, we're in check that types match. So that's not going to change. You know, some things you just need to compare every member in one versus every member in the other. Flatten. That's fine. Do insertions for using. So that just calls checked add to scope, which will, you know, do the right stuff, I believe. Okay. What was this? How old was this? Oh, old report. We might want that. Okay. So that was not the worst thing. We did a review. Maybe I missed some stuff, but it only looks like there's one thing that's really gnarly. And so I'm going to get up for a second and make some hot tea, and I'll have a little bit of blood flow go to my legs. Oh, before I do that, let's make sure that we still compile and we can check in, because we refactored some stuff into a different file. And that's a big enough source change. Like anytime you're doing a big change like this, it's always a possibility that what you're doing at some point will turn into a disaster and you want to revert. And if you want to revert, it makes sense to check in a good, known, nice version of things into source control that you can revert back to. And so, you know, I don't want to have to put all this stuff into another file again if I ever decide to revert. So we're just going to check this in. Check this in. More refactor prep. Pre-op, not pre-op, prep. Boom. All right, hot tea. Might you add a unique ID to scopes block to make comparisons faster for the case of equal check? There is a unique ID on the blocks, but they're also pointer unique. But that's not, it's like we want to know that the contents of the block are equal. So I guess you mean, like, could there be a hash code that tells you the summary of the contents of the block? And the answer is not really, because that hash code, being a summary of the information, has the potential of having a collision, right? So the only thing it can tell you with 100% certainty is in the case when the things don't match, right? But in the case when the things don't match, we're printing out an error message and stopping compilation anyway. That doesn't need to be fast. It's when things do match that needs to be fast. So you could be like all Git-like and play fast and loose with it and say, oh, it's 128-bit hash and it'll never collide. But like, I don't see the need for that. So are we doing a C++ transpiler? Is that something we expect the community to develop? I don't know. You know, right now, anytime you transpile code like that, it ends up not being super high quality in the target language. But it might be useful for some things. The thing is, C++ is really too complicated to do that with. And have a reasonable output. Like, because by the time you have C++ templates and stuff, putting that into any other language where they operate differently you just get a mess. So I don't know. We want to do things that will facilitate bringing C++ code over, but I don't exactly know if a transpiler is the right thing. We're going to have some hot tea, or we have some chocolate almonds, and then we'll have the brain power to attack this next problem. Did Braid's success change my entire career/life? I don't know. My life is not that different, except that I probably have freedom to do big projects now that are expensive, which I didn't have the freedom to do before. It helped me be more of who I want to be, but it's more like a natural evolution of what I was doing than like change everything, you know? What would I have been working on if my other stuff wasn't successful? I don't know. I don't know. Why are there two different Twitch sections for... Wait, is there a section for programming? I always use creative because I don't know. Is there an actual official programming area that I can use? Or do you mean these tags over here? Where I have programming? I don't know. There's not like a channel, is there? EA doesn't make Assassin's Creed. That's Ubisoft. But maybe history would have been changed such that EA bought Assassin's Creed. There's a programming section, but it's... Game category. Programming. Oh, they have programming now. They didn't used to do that. I'm switching it to programming. Maybe it's better to be in creative than programming in terms of getting viewers. I don't know. Why is 1001 Spikes good? I gave a whole speech about that at PAX East 2016. which you could probably look up on, no, 2017? 2016, which you could look up on YouTube. People think I should leave it on creative. Should we do a straw poll about whether it's creative or programming? Okay. It's going to mess everything up, so I shouldn't do this, but I kind of want to motor my standing desk up to standing level. It's just I haven't done that since I moved into this apartment, and probably something bad will happen. Let's see what happens. All right. Let me go a little bit at a time. See if the eye tracker still works and all that stuff. It might not. You know, the eye tracker might not angle up high enough, and I can't really adjust it. I'll move the mic in a second if this turns out to be the right thing to do. All my cables are reaching. Oh! One of my speakers just fell on the floor. Let's rescue that. All right. So that's maybe a little high. Let's see if the eye tracker sees me. It really doesn't. Oh, there it is, but wait, why doesn't it? I feel like I'm solidly in eye tracker view. I have to be a little. It loses me if I'm up here. So the flaw in this thing, oh, there's another logo I didn't cover up. The flaw in this eye tracker is they like designed it for laptops, and it goes on at a fixed angle. So like, I don't know, maybe I need to mess with the mount sometime. The thing is, if I bring my table up anymore, it's not really well ergonomic. We could try a little more. This is starting to feel a little weird. I still don't have eye, oh wait, I'm not on view overlay. Do I have eye tracking? Hello? 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 All right, well, the eye tracker does not want me to be able to stand up. Thanks, guys. Oh, maybe I just bring the monitor up a little. How's that? Eye tracker. Hello, eye tracker. Why does it want me to be way down here? What the hell is going on? All right, well, I don't know what to do. Oh, maybe I could tilt it this way. It's the way it attaches to the monitor is kind of funny, and you can't adjust it like at all. Maybe I could recalibrate. Let's see. Is it in display setup? I never remember. Okay, that's about right. It's on there a little crooked at this point, but why don't you name your things? No, I didn't know. It's not like, just let me calibrate the thing. Put the calibration somewhere Oh, it's down here in the user. All right. Like it can't see my eyes at all. There we go. Yeah, why is it different when I'm sitting down? I don't feel like... Oh, I have to be like further back or something. Okay, this is just a disaster. All right, well, there goes that experiment. I don't even remember what height my desk was at now. Maybe I'll figure out a way to get an adjustable mount for the eye tracker. Okay. I don't know. Now everything's all messed up. All right. How are we on calibration? Still kind of okay. We'll redo it anyway. Can I push the button by blinking? Let's see. No. Good. That would be stupid. Oh, it's so easy to go out of detection. It's designed for a smaller laptop screen. I'm looking at that dot. I don't know why you think I'm not. Okay. See, it's not totally centered. I wonder if it works better on a laptop screen. It works pretty good. It works well enough to give you the idea of what I'm looking at. The corners, it has more difficulty. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I was adjusting things. Is it the same one that Shroud uses? I don't actually know. Maybe. There aren't that many eye trackers, so the probability, I would guess, is high. Would I ever make a game that uses the eye tracker for a core mechanic? Probably not. There would be things you could do that play with it a little bit, though. All right. All right, let's get back to programming. We tried to raise the desk. Do I have ideas for a first-person shooter game? Yes. Of course. Of course. Here's an idea. Make PUBG and have it be good. How's that for an idea? I really should get a background that's less cluttered, but that just happens to be the wall that's behind me. Yeah, PUBG Good Edition would totally be a game that I would play. Oh my god. A lot of people would play that. One might say millions of people would play that. Okay, what were we doing? We were looking at gnarly. I remember implementing this originally, and I did not like it back then. Okay, so we're inserting some declarations in the middle of a scope. Now, when it comes to the hash table stuff, it just means we put more stuff in the hash table, but the order of the ordered members needs to be maintained. Okay. Wow, my eye tracker is so crooked now. What's going on? I think the mount is falling off. It is very crooked. Well, we may have to replace the mount eventually. Well, hopefully I didn't screw up the calibration right there. Let's see. I feel like it's pretty robust to me jiggling it around and whatever. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a quality thing. I have some ideas of how to improve the eye tracking, but yeah. Do I still play video games outside the TIS 100 types? I play PUBG sometimes. Come on, man. Come on, man. How many years would it take to make a game like PUBG using a custom engine of ours? If we made it with the Witness engine, or the version of the Witness engine that we currently have, I mean, it would take a little bit of time because, you know, we don't have anything in terms of the art assets or the stuff. We could make an initial kind of janky version the way PUBG did in like 8 months, probably. Like most of what takes time in game development is making things good. You know, like if you just want to like poop out something that doesn't work that well and where the lobby like has a button that says restart the lobby when it stops responding correctly and all that the way they did, like, dude, you can get that out there pretty fast. Networking is not that hard, especially when it's not that good the way PUBG's isn't. Like, it's just, yeah. Yeah. Anyway. But, you know, there's plenty of other people making action battle royales, so it's not our thing to do. How would we handle cheating? I mean, there's certain things you can do. You just sort of have to attack it on its case-by-case basis. So like speed hacks, you take a statistical approach. You know, wall hacking, I would actually render fake stuff that we know that people can't see unless they're wall hacking, and it screws them up. You know, stuff like that. You just, you know, the original PUBG didn't handle cheating in their initial launch, so we probably wouldn't either, and just start building it out. Yeah, but no, I totally would render fake players behind walls and stuff. Like that's definitely a thing. Yeah, you definitely can also do server-side occlusion culling on player models. That is for sure the case. However, if people are moving quickly, that interacts badly. You know, they have to be like super behind cover, more than you would think. So it's otherwise you start generating bad effects for players. So it's something you have to be careful about. It's a lot easier to do that in a game like Counter-Strike where the map has a potentially visible set built into the map. For an open world map like PUBG, it's really not as easy to do something like that. But you can certainly do it. It's just it takes a lot of server CPU, and they're already drowning in lack of server CPU because of many reasons. Okay. Oh, you know, I have on my list to do this header thing. This shouldn't be that way. That should just be a queued now, just like this. But I'm not going to derail what we're doing right now. If we have bonus time today, I might go do that, hopefully. I'm going to draw an arrow at it on my sheet. Okay. So we're making an array of new members and new statements. Statements we're not ever going to mess with. Those are going to stay in an array. So the code here that manipulates statements is fine. Find the index of this static if in the current block. Okay, because that tells us where we put things. Copy the statements to new statements. New members. Reserve. So new members is empty. Oh, and we're adding everybody. Okay. So we're going to have to not we'll stay manipulating statements, but not members. Okay. So we add the members. Actually, will remove me this whole thing. And then okay. So we're going to have a thing called members to insert. We're not going to leave it called new members. We're going to have a thing because we want to make sure all the old code is gone. So members to insert. And we're just going to reserve memory so that we don't, you know, keep expanding our array unnecessarily. That would not be good. So members to insert is going to get that declaration. We're going to steal the queuing just like we did, I guess. Okay. if it's a declaration. Otherwise, this could get gnarly for sure. Okay, if it's a declaration, we do this. Otherwise, if it arrow type is static if, we do the right. Remove from scope. Yeah, we're just transplanting it upward. I'm confused about okay, whatever. Confused about many things. Okay, if it's not a static if, we go down here and we make a sequence. Oh, yeah. Forgot all about that wonderful thing. We make a frickin' sequence to go into statements, but that's just for statements. It's just for statements. Okay. And then okay. Right. Okay, so we're going to leave all the statements code. Before we go on and do this one down here, let's at least make some API call where we say splice members into scope, interp target scope. We want to replace the static if with new members. No, members to insert. I didn't change this. We'll call it from static if because this is the only thing that ever does this. All right, so we can't do it yet because we don't have the members to insert. But down here, right? Yeah. Down here we do it. Okay. So that's one of these. That's what happens if... Oh, okay. Imperative block is up here. Wait. Do we not do anything with members in imperative block? No, because we mark it. Okay. Assert. Block. Block. Flags. And block. We're asserting not this. What was it even called? Block. Scope is large. Living large. Block lookup is large. We are manually adding below. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so global scope has a whole different situation. I don't exactly know why I did it that way. Maybe it was because of that global scope optimization. Oh, because of accept top level expression. Oh, this is fine though, because we don't need to insert anything. So here's what I'm going to do. Clean up. Constance told me that I should try to reduce cities like this now that we no longer have global scope optimization. Can we just roll this into the data scope handling above? I would like to, because that would be a big chunk of code to get rid of. I'm going to write that down. Constance told me messaging dependencies. Yeah, so we definitely need accept top level expression, but that might be the only thing that's different. And yeah. I have a feeling we can get rid of that, but we'll see. Okay, and then statements. Look, we don't do anything there. That's just burning CPU. If it's a global scope, we may be yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, and then what's this? Else of what? Thank you. Else of imperative. You know, let's just chill this out. Let's just say return false. Boom. Now my comments are going to be all hosed. Yep, look at that. Look at that. Okay, we'll get rid of that's an old comment anyway. Why is Emacs so bad at this? It astonishes me. Okay. Okay. Non-imperative scopes. Make it very clear that we've got a section break. Yeah, this is kind of messed up. Anyway, this whole is global scope thing. Yeah, we're going to combine and simplify. Okay, so we've got this splice members into scope from static if. That's really the only thing that we need to worry about. It is not implemented yet. Let's see if we can at least get to the linker and get a linker problem of not declared. Not declared. Look, it's not there. Unresolved external symbol. That's good though. How are things going in the chat? Would we ever release a mod tool for the witness? It would be cool to have a sort of a new game with the panels from community. It just, the game's not very conducive to it. It would be so much work that we just would rather put it into a new game. It's not just a message to remove that code, but in this case, the remove me is also telling me that that's the code that I want to refer to when I go into scope and make this procedure called splice whatever, right? So now I go find all the remove me stuff, and I'm just going to gank it, put it here, and then we're going to adapt it. This just reminds me of all the things that we used to do back when we used to play together in typer.cpp. Well, and this one was useless. Okay. Oh, we're down to 10,300 lines in this file. Someday it may be below 10,000 lines again. Good action. Okay. Well, we've got our two inserts. And for now, of course, we're not worrying about the hash table. So we are just going to put the new members in. That's all we're going to do. So we're just going to do this. New members dot reserve block members items plus target scope members dot items. We have find. Don't we have a find expression? Find in block. But we return the declaration for a name. I thought we had one that searches for an expression. I don't know, bruh. Whatever, it doesn't matter that much. Okay, so boom, boom. So let's replace target scope. Replace target scope by block. So can we call, what does check for redeclaration do? It doesn't add it unless it does, like if it's a placeholder, which is okay. That's okay. For now, at least. Okay, so so if the expression is equal to insert, we break, we add to new members. Oh shoot, this is not to replace to insert expression after which new things should be inserted. That's some self-documenting parameter names. Good thing I wrote this comment that we're including the if. See, that's a good comment. Thank you, past self. Thank you. Thank you, past self. Okay, so we've done that. We've done this. Wait, what? What? We're doing this in the wrong order. Like, we were adding it to the scope after. Like, what? What? All right. All right. We have to be a little finicky about how we do this anyway. Here's what we need to do. This is going to be a little slower, but it's the price of correctness. So anything that's an overload or replacing a placeholder, wow, my eye tracker is just going to fall straight off here. What is even happening? Is it still tracking? I put it over this other electrical tape that was covering a logo, and maybe that was the wrong strategy because it's not sticking very well now. Tracker test. Okay, it's still going, still going. If it completely falls off, we'll have a little pause time. So you might think that you can see the eye movements, but it also just might be that the tracker is flaking around. Don't underestimate that. Okay. Well, here's really what we want to do. We want to iterate over all of to insert. And I'm going to type this out into a comment. Iterate over all of to insert and place any placeholder replacements, placeholder fillers, and overloads, which we weren't doing before, so that was a compiler bug. If you had used a static if to drop in something that was an overload of something else, it wouldn't have ended up in the same place in the struct. I don't know what would have had something slightly weird. It would have kind of worked and maybe kind of not worked. Anyway, anything that doesn't get handled there, i.e. most things, needs to be inserted into the new block where the static if was. Okay, do we need to do this at the top? So I was thinking that we would filter the list into a new list, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Right? Because we're building this new members, and maybe, so we're reserving this many items, but we don't actually have to use all that. That's fine. Okay, so maybe down here we say okay, yeah, this can't really be the way it was, so we're gonna do that. Okay, we will say for to insert. See, added result and the return value from check for redeclaration seem, there goes my speaker again, seem completely redundant with each other. Like, I don't. And is it redundant with added result? So I'm going to write that down. Check for redeclaration cleanup. Clean up my prenup. Okay. So for all the things we're going to insert, we checked add to scope, interp, block, it, and added. No, not check for redeclaration, right? If yeah, this is the thing. You know what? I want to do this a different way. Slightly. I may regret it. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to maintain this new member array like I am. I'm just going to note where in the old array the guy was, and then I'll do checked add to scope on everything into insert. And then I will look at the new number of elements and swap them in, because that'll allow Yeah, that's what we're going to do. It's what we're going to do. It's simpler and probably better. So we're getting rid of that. We're going to need some array. We're going to need some array, so it's fine. Let's just make this a simpler loop. Boom. Great. Great. Okay. We don't care. We just do this. I'll leave this around just in case I want that, but I don't think so. Look how much simpler this is now. Boom, ba-boom. My stupid slightly wrong now comment. See, this comment is already wrong. I just typed it. It's already wrong a little bit. It's misleading. Old items is block members.items. Okay. So now anyone who is not inserted earlier into the block because of being an overload or placeholder, anything that is newly added to the block will have an index greater than or equal to old items. So after all that, we say, well, new items. And if new items is old items, return. Maybe we don't need to do that, but let's see. We'll say new items minus old items. Okay, now, I mean, let's put this way down here. So, we want to insert the extras in the array starting after found member index. We're just going to do this all in one pump. Maybe this isn't going to be that much different, but well, we know how many are in it. It's exactly block members.items for I equals 0. Oh, you know. No, because placeholders could dink with this. So, warning, do not try to be fancy and add these members into new members in the loop at the top of this procedure, because replacement of placeholders could invalidate some of these members, and you will be sorry if that happens. Just do it here. Okay. That's a comment that future me will be happy about. Okay. This could be a mem copy, but we're just chilling for now. Or mem move, because you're not supposed to use mem copy. I just use mem copy. Whatever, man. Okay, so because mem move doesn't move the memory, it leaves the old memory. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. So we do that, and then for I equals 0, I is less than, actually, for I equals old items, I is less than new items, I plus plus. New members dot add block members I. Let's put that on one line too, because why not? So everything from the end, and then we say found member index plus 1. I is less than old items. Add those. Right. I guess these all have to be int I. Right? Am I screwing this up, people? Is this like a thing? I think that's right. And okay, this is now no longer a thing. Now, do I need this? So new items. I don't need num extras, really. New items is block members items. If that's equal to old items, what happens? Yeah, we don't want to do this stuff. Okay. So, we'll just go back to if new items is equal to old items, return. We don't need to do anything. Delete these. See, look at how much nicer this is coming out. This is great. So now we've made these new members, and now we just need to say block members.data is new members.data leak, but that is our MO in these situations. Okay. How does that look? Do I think UAC is a badly implemented feature? Yes, of course. Wow, my eye tracker is just getting... We're going to have to, during the break, have an eye tracker remounting session. That's just all there is to it. They give you permission to use memcopy if the memory blocks are guaranteed not to overlap. Yeah. Have I done any kernel development? Not really to speak of. I looked at the kernel a little bit at one point, but I didn't do anything. Okay, let's see if I screwed this up real bad, which is quite possible. Let's see if it even compiles. How's that? New items. Did I delete the definition of new items? Yes, I did. Should we do a straw poll? Should my channel be in creative or programming? I've been in programming for a while. It seems fine. Thoughts on Lisp? I've ranted about Lisp a bunch of times. I don't need to say anything about it. Okay. Well, let's see if this magically works. The probability I assign to this working is low. Yep. All right. So that's fine. Debug builds. Way more discoverability on creative. Maybe we got to bring programming back. Maybe we have to be the people who make programming a channel on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Of course, the fact that programming doesn't even have a bitmap attached to it is pretty sad. All right, we'll go back to creative for now. Wait, it is on creative. I tried to put it on programming before and it didn't. Maybe I switched back and forgot. Wait, now it says program. What? It says, oh, Twitch, your caches are so broken. All right. Now we're back on creative. It's just if nobody knows about programming, people won't look there, right? That's the thing. That is the thing. And programming doesn't even look, it doesn't even look like an official channel because there's no frickin' bitmap. It's just a question mark. It's like, was that even made by Twitch? Probably not. All right, let's see where we're crashing. How am I doing a bad job today, Constance? Okay, this is unexpected. Lambda inferred type is null? How does that have anything to do with anything? How did I break that? Of all, what program are we running, first of all? Sokoban. What? How did I break that? Maybe it's something, maybe I deleted something about blocking on static ifs and it went ahead when it shouldn't. It's in pipe size. How did it get to pipe size and not have an inferred type? I don't know. Where is it? It's probably inside a static if. We probably didn't do something to it. Oh God, it's in Gladcore. So yeah, it's probably inside a static if. Let's go look. 1608. It's inside a static if. So when we are adding things, so I don't think that's an overload, right? GL draw arrays. Yeah. OpenGL doesn't have overloads because it has to work in languages like C where there's no overloads. So, you know, OS Windows is true. So we're taking all this and inserting it into this upper scope. Like we were saying. And when we are doing that, something is not happening correctly. And I could probably look at the old version to see what I messed up in some way. It might be that when I separated out the members from the statements, so members are also in there as statements. And it might be that I'm doing something with the statements and now it's happening in the opposite order, and that's bad or something. I generally don't stream at the same time as Casey, but today I just wanted to stream most of the day because I'm doing a couple days of doing big changes to the compiler, and so they kind of take a whole day to do, and so it's just hard not to stream at the same time as Casey if I'm streaming all day. Okay. Well, how are we doing for lines of code? Let's have a little distraction there. All right, we're only 10 lines up so far. I mean, we haven't done the core thing that we're looking to do yet, but hey, you gotta you got to be happy about whatever you can be happy about. That's what I say. Do we still have this eye tracker is just slowly sliding? Oh, it's still tracking. My heart's beating. My hands are shaking. My eyes are tracking. Okay. So, I don't know what to do. So here's where we splice. So if there's a declaration, we make a new declaration. We steal queuing. It's the steal queuing that may be doing some shenanigans in some way. Maybe I just want to track that lambda that's crashing us. And just see how it gets past the infer pipe. Maybe that's my best strategy. Or I could see, because I know it's going to get into here. Except it's going to get into there with a whole bunch of other things. What do I want to do? This is queued. It says it exited pipe infer. Okay, we're going to just look for when this got queued. These, yeah, okay, I can put it here. And I can say expr arrow s is equal to this, and I can go heat up some more tea if this takes, sometimes putting in a breakpoint like that takes a bit. Let's see. How we doing? We got our breakpoint. We got our breakpoint. I should turn this off when I'm eating. Yeah, I mean, not only do recursive problems not necessarily lead to fast code, like a recursive formulation is almost never the good way to do it when it comes to the reality of how programs run on computers. And I don't care if you have tail call elimination or not. You pretty much always want to write things iteratively instead of recursively if you want a high quality solution to the problem. That's just how it tends to pan out. Are there any game studios that still use C? I don't know. Sean Barrett still uses C, and he's made some games, so there's that. No, game studios that do engine programming use C++. They don't use C. Will, have you considered standard unordered map for all or part of the solution for scope members? Absolutely not. I will not go near anything like that with a 10 light year pole. Do I use a template for casting? I'm not sure what you mean. A template for casting. Like maybe recursive syntax that expands into an iterator. Wow, that's a different topic. Thoughts on continuation passing scheme? Is that a dead end too? Yeah, I mean, thinking about continuation passing was fun when I was a scheme fanboy. Is a template array that I use my own? Yeah, it's a very simple one. Static cast ask lambda blah. That's just, when you see that, that's just whatever the built-in static cast is in C++ 11 or whenever they introduce that. It uses the bracket notation like templates, but I don't think it's a template implementation-wise. Maybe it is. I don't actually know. Am I still uploading my streams to YouTube? Yes, but I haven't been good about it lately. So I got to go later and go through the backlog and upload some streams. Is Rust a better C++ or trying to be? No, Rust is trying to be something different. D is a better C++, kind of, except the problem with D is it makes some choices about memory that are not good and that C++ doesn't force on you. So many things about D are better than C++, but a couple are worse, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't think you want to make recursive syntax behave like an iterator because that turns into obfuscated code. Like, just write the iteration. Stop pretending like everything is a mathematical function and just write the iteration, because your computer is a register machine that does iterations like that. It's built to do iterations in loops. Write the loop. Don't write continuation passing. Do I think there's value in developing a better C which doesn't add tons of new features? Maybe. I mean, it would be better than C. Maybe you could get people who use C to switch to it. I think you do have a marketing problem because most people in reality want new features. But maybe not. I mean, sometimes it's really surprising what takes hold and gets big. Will we have metaprogramming? We already have had metaprogramming for years. You can go on YouTube and watch several videos about metaprogramming. Okay. Here, I'm going to set a data breakpoint. And I just want to know I bet that's a lambda body going through our weird... Okay, this isn't actually going to give me that much information. Let me get... Whoops. All right. I'm just going to copy that number out because I probably will want it again because this data breakpoint is not really going to give me any information, but I'm going to do it anyway. OX9FD7C84. All right. Okay. So we're calling exit pipe on pipe infer. Okay. So what information can we get from this? Because we're far away from whatever caused us to think we could exit the pipe, probably. Okay, it's a lambda header, not a body. It's exiting pipe infer. It does not have an inferred type, but it is at the end of the flattened array. Now the lambda itself should be the last item in the flattened array. What's our enclosing scope right now? How do I know that from the lambda? We don't know. It's in the declaration. No, lambda. When I call set enclosing scope, get enclosing scope pointer, I assume this takes, for lambdas, it looks for the constants block. Yeah, parent. Okay. Constants is all around us. Okay, we don't have a lambda. And ask lambda queued expression. I'm having trouble hitting greater than today. All right. Constants parent. It's a data declarations. It's got 13 items. So this is still inside the static if, I think. Block flags is 8. What is 8? Block belongs to static if. Okay. This should not... This should not be proceeding, if I'm being honest, if it's inside a static if block. So, but it is, which means maybe we failed to set enclosing scope on it. And then I don't know what that has to do with anything, but... Let me look back just to see at the old version, because this used to work. Oh, such a small font. Can I like just make the font bigger, please? Style. I don't want... What? Who cares about that? Give me bigger text. I'm on a 4K monitor, people. It's like, wait. Such a dumb thing to prioritize is making my icons look like Office 2003. Like, whose idea was that? Maybe somebody thought that would be funny. Like, what? Like, who cares? Who cares? Why not pick your own style and have it be good? Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing here about font size. Great. Does control mouse scroll? Nope. Nope. It's scrolling me horizontally. How smart is the compiler currently about optimizing the code? We let LLVM do the optimization for now. We will eventually have our own optimizer. Oops, this eye tracker is... I'm going to try to bring it up a little here. Okay. It might just straight up fall off one of these seconds. Okay, we're still tracking. It's a little bit off, but not the worst. I actually don't mind ribbons. I think they're fine. I think the way they're displayed is bad. Like, just give me the icons and let me like hover over the ribbon and then put the text down, but just don't have it there all the time. This one happens to be very ugly, but I think ribbon... Oh, there goes the eye tracker. I think ribbons could be good. It's just they're usually not. All right. We are going to have to mount the eye tracker with our secondary mount that they provide. Let's like wipe the surface and all this. Oh God. This is maybe not a good idea right now. It's got like all the sticky from the electrical tape, and then now... Oh my God, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. It's a cool mounting system. So what they do is they have... It's just this little strip, and it's like iron or something. And then there's, I guess there's a magnet inside the eye tracker, and it just snaps on magnetically, which is cool, I think. So you can have, I guess you could have one on your desktop monitor, one of these mounts, and one on your laptop, and you could just bring the eye tracker back and forth and snap it on or off. That was thoughtful of them. Okay, I hope I don't screw this up. Hope I didn't put that too high. Hope I didn't put it too off center. Hope I didn't need to clean that more thoroughly. All right. Trying it again. Give this a second. Let's press it into the monitor. Yeah, baby. Yeah, okay. Eye tracker. Eye tracker is on. It is not ridiculously crooked anymore. Check, 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 tech check, tech check. Hello, eye track. Tracking check. I feel like we want to recalibrate just in case. It seems more off now. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Yeah, it's like consistently off to the left. Oh, God. Yeah, there's not that wide of a range in which the tracker is valid, honestly. It's like if I get too low, it starts to lose me. If I get too high, it loses me. Whatever. Okay. I don't know, is the mic confusing it? No. No, it's confused without the mic. All right. These are your eyes. How nice. Why can I go way off to the right? Okay, let's just give me a mode where I can stay in that mode and like move my stuff. Okay. Calibration successful once again. See where we're at. Oh yeah, that's better. It's better, better. Still not perfect. But they have to have a reason for me to buy next year's eye tracker. Okay. Apparently, to change the size, you have to open the special Tortoise SVN settings program, go to Tortoise Blame tab away at the bottom, and configure the size there. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. In the ribbon bar next to Edit, there's a small button. Font. Yeah. Oh, that's ugly. Okay, but all right. All right. I'm glad that that's hidden from me. All right. How come when I hit apply, it doesn't apply it? Okay, that, I don't know. I'll try to get used to this. It's not heavy enough for how bright the background is. Now I could go dork with the background color and whatever, but let's not bother. Okay. We are looking at the old version to see if anything was different about remove from scope. So all this stuff is basically the same. Okay. I don't know. You know what? Here's what I want to know. How does this lambda I'm just going to break, its flattened index only goes up to 11. So I'm going to reinitiate this breakpoint. And I'm going to get its flattened index data breakpoint. And we're just going to step through that and see whether it gets jumped to the end or whether it goes through there like normally. It must get jumped to the end. Probably by the static if. Really. You should give Courier Prime a go. It is free. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Okay. Well, so, oh, it's in the queued. Flattened infer cursor. So we want the address of that. And we'll break on that. New data breakpoint. OXAO 62888. Boom. Go gadget thinger. Go gadget thinger. The following breakpoint was hit. Okay, this is fine. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is it 11? Really? Yes, up to 11. 8, 9, 10. So it's not getting skipped. Why does it have an inferred tuple? What? It's a declaration. Why isn't the lambda itself in here? When we flatten a lambda, the lambda itself is supposed to end up in there, and that's how its type gets inferred. How did I break this? I just don't even know. This is so weird. If it had a static if inside it, I could imagine how I broke it, but it doesn't. So, like, when we go to flatten, which is just a way of putting all the expressions into a linear array so we don't have to do like a tree search to navigate to find things to infer, when it's a lambda and it's the current flattener's expression, which it is in this case, we start lambda, do this stuff, and then finish. Now finish adds the source to the current flatten result. So I ask you, what the hell? The lambda is supposed to be the last thing. Let's just make sure it's not in there. So expr is EE70. I don't see EE7. Oh, it is there. No, that's OE70. Expr is OE70. Okay. It's, wait, now I'm confused. Flatten infer cursor is 10. That is the index. Queued flatten infer cursor. OE, wait, what? Expr is, oh wait, queued expression is not the lambda. It's, okay, I got confused. The lambda is earlier. Declaration. Declaration. Oh, is this the static if? Wait, where am I? What is going on? Okay, this must be the static if. Am I running with no jobs? What's happening? I'm questioning the basics of my reality right now. Okay. Okay, this is a declaration. This is one of those things where if I had a better debugger where I could just see the data structures, this would be tremendously easier. Okay, this is garbage. No, it's a lambda, right? The queued's expression is a lambda, but the flattened is a bunch of declarations. I am a bunch of declarations only. Okay, wait. What? I have a feeling there's like another bug that has nothing to do with what we're working on, and maybe we just exposed it. Because right now, this makes so little sense to me. Maybe I'm just confused. GL draw arrays, right? So let's go back to GLAD core. So this thing, it's just a prototype. It shouldn't have 11 declarations in it, right? So it does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, well, 13. So that's kind of suspicious. Why are these different anyway? Polygon offset. Why are we foreign without a library identifier? The hell? This shouldn't be the way this is done. Okay, I got to email people at some time. Email about Gladcore, etc. Foreign. Okay. Because these are just all the same declarations. It's just, I guess this is saying like it's not in an external lib to link, but we should do that a different way. We should do that a different way. Okay. Back on track. Are we just passing the wrong block into the splice? Like, are we splicing? Like, who are these declarations, right? So this one is oh, you know what? There's something I didn't do. Because I'm using these arrays that have destructors. I don't think this is the problem, but I got to do it anyway. So I'm stealing the memory off that other array, but what scope? Like I want to prevent it from being like somehow freed and reused, which I don't think happens with this because it's not a heap array, but just to make sure. Okay, let's see who this is though. Identifier WGLX swap control. So Gladcore WGLX swap control. It's like a totally different thing in a totally different place. So like, how does this lambda somehow have these in its own block? Let's do this one. Arguments block. No statements, no member, members are moved. Arguments, okay, it should have 3 arguments. That's fine. Block. No statements, no members. Returns block. No members, no statements. Constants block, our friend. No members, no statements. Okay, well, I wonder if that thing I did has anything to do with this. I just want to know. Nope. So I mean, I am really screwing up something, and it's something simple. Like, I feel like Like really now. This isn't supposed to be the hard part. Well, actually it kind of is. We did say this was gnarly. It was at gnarly. But this simplified version of the approach I had thought was good. Do we still have something dorking with block members back here? Mm-hmm. Well, okay, so this guy right gets flattened and somehow gets these 11 declarations. So let's chase that angle. 11 declarations that have nothing to do with anything. So okay. So we're going to say, first of all, you could get flattened more than one time. So the first thing I'm going to do is just see how many times. Wait, what did I do? Did I typo something? Oh, this is items. Items. Items, items, items. Okay. Okay, we're going. We're going. Must that not be old items plus 1? I don't think so. Let's see. No, because old items is one, like the index of old items is past, it's out of, you know, we're zero indexed. Let's go back and talk about that. We're zero indexed, so this is the first new item. And new items minus 1 is the last new item. Right? Right? Makes sense? Makes sense? Okay. So well, it's a lambda. Okay. Blam, current flattened result has 0 items in it because we haven't added anything. Start the lambda. Constants block, arguments block. Whoa! Returns block. Finish. Okay, so we do. Wait, we get 11 items, but they're not all declarations, right? Maybe I overwrite this in some dumb way. Type instantiation, ident. Okay, so this memory is getting stomped, is what's happening. And we don't have array bounds checking or something, so it's, yeah. See, this is not all declarations, and the lambda is the last one. Like I said, the lambda has to be the last one. Great, I should have done this first. Now, let's just see if we ever end up there again before the crash. If we don't, then it's actually very easy what to do. We set a data breakpoint to see who changes that and then why they think they have the nerve to so forth. Yeah, okay, this is great. We are very rapidly closing in on the problem. New items and old items are initialized by the same source. Is that intended? Yes, because what happens is we get the old items and then we add a bunch of stuff to the scope, which will increase the number of things in this. And then we get that number again. That is completely intended. Completely. Wow, people are showing up. We got about 50 people in the last 5 minutes. Hello, new people. How's it going? Oh, we are at our breakpoint. So I'm going to flatten this, right? And then, well, we finished flattening. Now we set our magical data breakpoint, right? This is the lambda. I want to know when that gets stomped. All right, breakpoints, new data breakpoints, OXB20A480. Data breakpoints can take a while. We're going to turn off this breakpoint. Well, that was easy. Where are we? We're in add to scope. We're in splice. I'm totally not surprised, right? And we're in this thing. How is checked add to scope? Okay, well, the block certainly has a lot of members. Let's just admit that. But it appears to have enough allocated data. So either our allocator went crazy, which is a good thing to know, or our other array like points into that. Okay, our data breakpoint was on B20A480, right? So okay, scope members.data is B20 5D50. Scope members.data plus scope members.allocated. What is it called? Allocated items. DD50. Yeah, like our array that we think we are manipulating is in the middle of another array for some damn reason. This, I don't think, has anything at all to do with what we were doing. It's just a weird bug situation. Should have used memmove. Okay. Okay. It's a topical comment. This is weird. Let me just look at array for a second, because I want to get off Emacs so bad. All right. Whoops. Not arrays. Array.h. Okay, so what I'm using is this thing. And does it destruct? And no, it doesn't deallocate, right? So my question is, how in the hell? Okay. You know, we're supposed to be all good about this stuff. So reserve. Well, new items is max allocated items times 2. Blah, 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 blah. Array pool dot get without mutex of new bytes. Get without mutex. That's scary. I mean, we're running with no jobs, so this can't really be the problem. And it's, yeah, it's supposed to be thread local storage now. So hopefully that's not going haywire in some way. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. If xxx underscore danger if new data is less than xxx danger if p is less than xx danger assert well, it can't be equal. Assert p plus new bytes is less than xxx danger, right? Okay. This is some really formal method debugging here, let's say. Okay. This is the kind of thing that in the new language I want to make automatic, where you just like turn a thing on and it just does this for you. But for now, it's not like that. Okay. What is happening? Scope. We're going to say this. It is null because it's in a global scope, but we'll just set it anyway. And then we will set the value of that in the debugger after we flatten the thing. This should be less than equal. Okay. What's going on, folks? What is going on? So I'm going to have to, like, why is the breakpoints window not here just because I'm not in the debugger? Like, I want to set my breakpoint back before I run, but now I like have to run and frickin' do this and restart because the people who make the UI are not, they're what we call no hires in the industry. Oh God, okay. XXX danger danger sounds like a SoundCloud username. I guess so. I guess so. Okay. We're flattening. Okay. XXX danger danger. We are going to, I can't just copy the value out of this field because of all this, but I can do Visual Studio making my life hard. Visual Studio. Visual Studio doing everything wrong. Visual Studio, yeah. Yeah, Visual Studio hates programmers. Why didn't that go off? Okay, it didn't go off because somebody already had that allocation. It was already allocated beforehand. Let me just, I want to see some things about this. Well, okay, if it's already allocated beforehand, then I can do this the other way around. Well, or my debugging code is messed up, but let me write down to remove XXX danger danger danger. Have I tried new WinDbug? No, I haven't. I have not. All right. Oh, you know what? I just realized what might be wrong. No, that's also array. Let's look at finish flattening for a second, just to... What? How does the current flatten... Oh, current flatten result is a pointer to my thinger. It's a pointer to my finger. All right. Well, current flatten result is null. That's fine. Queued. Flattened. Null. Okay, so now we're just going to step down into the allocation. Okay, that doesn't do anything yet. That doesn't do anything yet. I don't think that'll do anything yet. Okay, here we go. We're in array add. We're going to reserve. Allocated items is less than size. So now new items is 1. And then that's getting rounded up to 8. And we have our old bytes and new bytes, and old bytes should be 0 and new bytes should be 64. Great. So array pool, what the hell is even going on with this thing? Total bytes allocated is about 11 megs. Mem block size 262144. Obsoleted mem blocks 83. Like we never should be, yeah. So the question is, I mean, the problem is the get routine here is really simple. N bytes, 72. We have 72 bytes. See, that's all we do. So the problem is, why does somebody think they have a bigger thing of memory than that? I'm probably just doing something real bad that I don't realize I'm doing. Okay. Okay. Wait, why did I didn't want to do that. I want to set that data breakpoint again. I want to set that data breakpoint. Okay, wait, now I'm confused because when that data breakpoint went off, I was modifying, I guess the allocation had already happened. Okay, let's just see. So, okay. Data breakpoint is here. Thank you, ASLR, for making me do this every single time. The amount of programmer productivity lost is staggering. Okay. So now, again, we're in array add. I feel like it's maybe like we're not taking the namespace mutex, but it shouldn't matter because we're in no jobs right now. We are not jobbing. And If it was a weird mutex raise condition, it wouldn't be coming out the same every time. That just wouldn't happen. Probably. Okay. This is like the file scope for, yeah. It's got 4096. I mean, I could look for every attempt to expand to 4096 items and then try to figure out why that is not working. The problem is, this may not be the only thing, but let's find out. Let's say reserve. And breakpoint new items is 4096. Wow, we're really rat holing on something I did not expect to be rat holing on, but that is programming. That is programming. Yeah, don't read Hacker News about productivity. It's not a good source. Okay. Where are we? We're adding to a pipe. It's probably like the infer pipe. Yeah, this is not the right place. Not the right place. We add a lot of things to arrays. Okay. Where are we now? Pump pipe. Nope, that's pipe's output. Is danger, danger a pointer to the variable? I don't know. Right now it's null, so it's not really a pointer to very much, but yeah. Okay, where are we now? Add to pipe. We're more pipes. The pipes just want to have big arrays. The pipes just want to have big arrays. The pipes just want to have big arrays in them. Still pipes. Still pipes. The frickin' pipes. We should probably push debug expression. Really? Debug expression stack? Okay, I think push debug expression is unbalanced. We'll debug that later. That should not have 2,000 items in it. I'll tell you what. I don't think so. I don't think so. More pipes? More pipes. Maybe I should have put this breakpoint somewhere else. Maybe I should have put it in add to scope. Maybe I should have put it in add to scope. Except that wouldn't have covered 100% of the eventualities because of the splice thing. It's got to be the splice thing. It's got to be the splice thing. What am I doing wrong? It can't be anything else. I must have done something trivially dumb in the splice thing that everybody in chat saw me do wrong. And they all texted me saying, hey, dude, you're doing this wrong. And I wasn't reading chat right at that second. And then I have to cancel the compiler and shut down my company and all that. It's really taking a long time to find where this array gets big. Okay, wait a minute. Let's go back. While this is cooking, let's look in scope. Just what am I doing here in the splice? Splice. We have a block. We've got some stuff. We've got some to insert. We've got some new members. New members is made right there. We reserve, we add. We add, we add. We assert the number of items is equal. We assign the data pointer. I do that all the time. It should be fine. Oh, look, we're here. Add dependency. Wow, someone's got 2,000 dependencies? Bro, who is that? It's a struct. It's probably OpenGL, right? It's got to be the GL. Where's the name? We've got too many things. Bound name. No bound name. Well, line number 4 of Gladcore. Yep. Okay, well, that's going to be slow. Frickin' no matter what. Add statement. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Should have put some debugging code. Add to scope. This is what we were looking for, I think. Right, so block. We could have set this breakpoint here. It would have been much faster. It's got 2,048 members. And 2,049 statements. Bro. Okay. So I just want to see what happens here. I didn't really set up any debugging info. Because like we could set up a danger the other way around, which is maybe what we should do. If my theory is that this is happening, right, we still have the flatten set. Okay, so my theory that this was happening before the flatten is correct. It is correct. Okay. So we're here. We're here. Duh! Okay, well, I accidentally skipped that. Where are we at? Did we... Okay, we didn't even... Actually, we did... Okay, wait. No, so we didn't make a new block, which is sort of one of the things that would be scary. Okay. We have 71 obsoleted mem blocks. Our current pause is this, right? And we have 71 obsoleted mem blocks. And mem block size is 262144, which I believe it is during that. Okay, so new data is this. New data plus new bytes. Dorcas. Dorcas is that. So now this other thing is going to be in the middle of this range. So like, actually we want this number. We want to know our next bytes left that we see. Well, let's see. Let's just see what happens. I'm going to leave this in case there's a different add to scope. I don't think there will be. I think that was the one scope that was that big. Well, it's not immediately after. Okay, we are 4 memory blocks later. Oh, but it's another big block. But it's a pipe. We be piping. We be piping. Whoa, sleep yield, hold on. I should have looked at that. We need to do a big array audit sometime where we just look at like who's taken all the memory. This conditional breakpointing is quite slow. Do you ever compile the conditional in the program and break inside to reduce the wait time? Yeah, I do that sometimes. Definitely. Definitely. Okay. Pipe. Okay, now we're flattening. Okay, array pool is it's got way more memory buckets. Ah, why didn't it keep my numbers here? Visual Studio hates programmers. I have to go back and do that again now. Okay, no, because we can do that faster now that we know where it's coming from. So whoops, it's not : : It's add to scope. Why is that in ast.h anyway? So let's go to ast.h. This should be in scope.h, right? And then, okay. Add to scope should be in scope. And we're going to say, this might be slower to put it here. Whatever, we'll see. Condition block members.items is equal to 2048. Okay. Now we are going to go to our danger, and we're going to say so P, we're going to assert the other way around. We're going to say if P is greater than or equal to XXX danger, assert P is greater than or equal to XXX danger plus XXX danger end. So it's not inside that interval. And then we'll put the declaration wow, I'm spending a long time debugging this. It's going to be something so dumb. It's going to be something so dumb that I will eat a lot of chocolate when we figure out what it is. All right. Tea, time to re-up the tea. Tea's cold. I will point out while I'm waiting for the tea that this is exactly why it's a good idea to break down your problem into smaller subproblems, right? If I had done all the hash table stuff already, then now I'd be confused about whether the hash table was messing something up or not. Now I just suspect it's just that splice thing and or it's something revealing an older bug. But yeah, I don't know. Why don't I have any pets? I travel and am gone so much that pets would just die. Okay, we're back at our breakpoint. We're back at our breakpoint here. It didn't take long. Good. So let's set our danger. Okay, so new data, new bytes, danger gets this, and what was the other one? Danger length, danger end. That's not end. It's a length. Why did I call it end? That's how tired I am right now from not sleeping last night. That's 32768. Well, let's see. I'm going to leave the scope breakpoint in there in case another one happens. Like, it's so weird. How would we get that same memory address? We would only get it if somehow the block got freed. Okay, so we're not flattening yet. Well, we didn't seem to trip it through the allocation. So queued flattened.data is not even close. Look at that. It's nowhere near our danger situation. Let's hex that. Right? That A5E plus 800 is not anywhere near B anything. So does the data pointer on that block change for some reason? Is that what changes? Yes, of course it changes. Because we're changing it in the splice. We're changing it in the splice. So oh my God. I know what's happening. It's super stupid. I told you it was stupid. I told you it was stupid. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is what happens when I program while dumb. Okay? Because I just stole the memory, but like, this thing's still being used, and I need to assign everything. So basically, if new members has a higher allocated items, well, if block has a higher allocated items than new members, it could end up with a data that's too short, right? So I bet if I put this assert in, it will fire. Assert block arrow members dot allocated items is less than or equal to new members dot allocated items, I bet that fails. And if that fails, that's our problem. And what I really should do is have a steal memory procedure if I didn't. Okay, well, I should just assign the whole array. Why didn't I just assign the whole array? Like, it's just, hey, look, my assertion went off. I spent like 2 hours debugging this piece of crap for, oh my God, it's so obvious. Okay, told you it was stupid. So block members equals new members. I should have just done this, right? New members dot data equals null. Unnecessary, but we're doing this just for safety. 2 hours, bro. I don't know if it was actually 2 hours. It was more than 1 hour. Probably it was about 2 hours. Well, I apologize sincerely for the 394 people who had to sit through that. But the good news is we get to go further. Maybe it means I take a lunch break because I am kind of hungry. Oh my God. Hey, look, it worked. If only I had not been dumb 2 hours ago. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. So we're going to make sure we pass all the tests. And then we're going to take a lunch break. It's a significant thing to have gotten this right. I wish it hadn't taken 2 hours, but we got it right. It was our @gnarly. I just don't trust Visual Studio when it comes to compiling files. Oh, my tea is probably oversteeped now. Yeah. Okay, so run tests. Oh, they didn't work. Okay. Well, I can't go yet. I can't go to lunch. This might be another 2 hours. I hope not. God. All right. Let's see what happens. I've got to take my danger out. Did it get that far before? Oh, run tests is different. Let's do this one first. I mean, it looks to me like that's working. Let's take out danger. So we don't check that in. I should have used my no check-in on that. Wait, what? Was it really? Oh yeah, so that was in braces because of that scoped lock that we're not using. Let's just get rid of this. Okay. Well, the short test suite ran. I'm not sure why run tests crashed. Let's try it again after this rebuild. When it takes you days to draw a textured quad in OpenGL. I have been there. Well, it hasn't been days in a while, but it's been a day recently as a couple of years ago, to get a textured quad on the screen. All right, well, okay, Sokoban. Boom. Run. Boom. Okay, tests, short test suite. Okay. Well, let's do that. Okay, run test. This is longer test suite. Okay, maybe I got the old binary because of a race condition when I was compiling or something. We'll do this a couple times. There really could be an intermittent crash that I've introduced. It could be that there was a low probability crash that's been here a while and just hasn't gone off. We definitely had one of those recently, but I thought I had fixed it in something the other day. So this is at least looking okay, you know. So I think it's lunch break time. Thank you, everybody who persevered with me through this. When we get back from lunch break, we will start implementing the actual thing that we want to do, which is, you know, having a separate place to look things up.